So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Men, women, all of that. Hope that you guys have a great day with your significant other, your loved one, or yourself, whatever it might be. This is part 2 of my Valentine's Day special videos. Last week, I did a Valentine's Day fragrance gift buying guide for men and for women, and I told you in that video on Valentine's Day. So today, I'm going to be giving men 5 really nice options to wear on your Valentine's Day night out, your day, whatever it might be. I have 5 great options, actually technically 6, that I'll be talking about. Again, it's more for men, so without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes out there, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Hope that you have a great day, a great night. Hope that you go get something good to eat, whatever it might be. And I hope that you're smelling great. And if you're not, I can give you some great options to wear out tonight if you own these. They are probably the best night out fragrances to go out with your significant other, your loved one, whatever. So again, this is going to be 5 of my favorite night out fragrances for Valentine's Day, the best ones to wear. This was shout out to one of my subs, I forget who it was. They actually told me on my live they wanted to know if I was doing a Valentine's Day video about the best ones to wear on Valentine's Day. And yes, I am. So here you go. Before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you like my content, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. So we're going to get straight into the first one here, if I can grab it. And this one is my wife's favorite fragrance. And the one that I am going to be wearing tonight because, again, I'm wearing it for her because it is Valentine's Day. This is by Azzaro. Surprise, surprise. You guys know I love Azzaro. She loves Azzaro. It is Wanted by Night. This is my Valentine's Day fragrance and my anniversary fragrance that I always wear. My anniversary is in 2 weeks anyway, so I wear them both the same night. She always, I asked her a couple years ago what would be her most the best fragrance that she would want me to wear on those type of days, and she picked Wanted by Night. And then every year I always ask her and she always picks Wanted by Night, so that's what you're gonna get. Oh my goodness, it's such a good fragrance. It's so freaking good. It's never gonna get old either. It's one of the most popular fragrances out there for women. I've done a lot of different compliment tests on my channel with my wife, my daughter, my sister, people from work. I also know Jeff from SoCal Scents. This is his most popular fragrance on his channel. He does compliment tests with models, actresses, stuff like that out in LA. So definitely go follow his channel. So as far as Wanted by Night, it is that cinnamon fruity woods bomb. The main notes you get in Wanted by Night are fruits, woods, cinnamon, and tobacco. There is a lot of other stuff going on in this fragrance, but really if you just want to simplify this fragrance, the best way to put it is that it's a really nice fragrance that is more for the fall and winter. I would say it's more fall centric, but fall and winter. Where I live, you can also wear it in the spring and early summer because it doesn't really get too hot. This is probably good up until about 75 degrees. So that cinnamon really comes through. You get this like fruitiness, and I know in the note breakdown it gives you just sweet notes and fruity notes, and really that's what it is. There's nothing that really you can pinpoint in this. There's also ginger, there's woods, there's a lot of different types of woods too. I think there's cedar, there's amberwood. What I mostly can pull is the amberwood. It comes off kind of dense, a little bit darker. It has that sweetness to it. It's really nice. So you do get that tobacco in there, but the main thing in this fragrance that you need to know is cinnamon. It doesn't come off like a cinnamon stick. It's more of like a cinnamon cologne that has a lot of different things going on, other nuances. It's very well blended. And not only that, with the Azzaro line, they started out with their original and tonic that just didn't really quite do it. They're both decent. Tonic is kind of like toilet water, but the original, it's just their take on the bubblegummy sweet type fragrance, and it's okay, but it's like 4 or 5 hours, doesn't really get you much. This one gets you about 7 hours. It is not a huge projector. It's above average for the first hour and a half, and then it tones down to more of a moderate projector. But with that said, Wanted by Night is a fantastic cold weather fragrance. even kind of semi-warm weather fragrance as well, but I would say more cold weather. It is fantastic if you like cinnamon, you like fruits, you like more of the night out fragrance. And what's funny is when this first came out, I got a survey that sent me a sample of it and I hated it. Right off the bat, I hated it. And then literally a month later, my wife just bought it for me because she loved it when she smelled it in Sephora or in Ulta. She bought it for me. Now I'm obsessed with the fragrance. So Wanted by Night, that is my first one that you should wear on Valentine's Day. Going into the second one here, this is going to be, a lot of these are going to be maintaining around what I think people own, or they can own very easily. And so I wanted to stick in that designer realm that a lot of people do own. And so this one, I know a lot of people own. By Armani, it is Acqua di Profumo. I actually have never mentioned this on my channel except for the day that I bought it. So for you guys who don't know, I owned and wore the original Acqua di for about 17 years. And then I completely went on an Armani hiatus. I have an 18-year-old bottle of the Acqua di Eau de Toilette in there, sitting there, that I didn't touch forever. And now, as of last year, I finally got off that hiatus. I bought every single Armani Acqua di that there is, except for the Eau de Parfum, because I do not like the Eau de Parfum. It's like an herbal hockey bag, and it's a mess. I don't like it at all. I've made that quite clear. But the Profumo is a really nice one. My favorite is the Absolu, which is that amber woody kind of sweetness. This one is going to be more of your original Acqua di kind of just more modern, better overall, more mass appealing, and it's going to be a little bit more professional. So the main notes you get in Profumo are C notes, rosemary, bergamot, and patchouli. So you're going to get those aromatics, you're going to get those C notes, but it's not an aquatic like the Rossa or the Acqua di Absolu. This one is definitely going to have that Acqua di DNA. It's just going to be a slight bit lighter. As far as it's still going to project really nicely. This projects actually better than the Eau de Toilette. But with that said, there's a lightness to it, almost like an effervescence that I'm trying to get across to you guys, but completely failing. And then there is also a really nice aromatic tone. There is some sweetness in it from the citrus, but it's not overly citric. It is just a very nicely blended Acqua di more modernized and just better overall. And it also has, again, this more kind of modern professionalism to it that I find it like if you want something that's kind of more fun and more like daytime playful, I would go with the Profundo. The Profundo Light, stuff like that, to me is more spring, summer. This one is kind of more of your night out if you want to go and you want to smell great. You want to be almost a little bit professional, but like maintaining a little bit of youthfulness in there. Acqua di Profumo is going to be the best one to do that. It is your night out banger. You're not going to go wrong with this. If you want something that I know your wife or your girlfriend or loved one is going to definitely love the smell of, pretty much any of these, but Acqua di Profumo is definitely going to be the easiest one to do that, and you get 8 to 10 hours of performance on it with above average projection, again similar to the Wanted by Night with about 2 hours. Then it becomes more moderate, personal bubble. And it's a really nice fragrance overall. You can wear it in any situation, really. I would wear it to the office, I would wear it out, I would wear it during the day. I could wear it in pretty much any situation, which is why I like that fragrance a lot. Going into the third one, this one is going to be one that is a little bit more hit or miss with women. I know women like this more than men, at least I found, but I found a lot of women that don't like it. So I didn't like this fragrance for a while, then I came around to it, and now I really like it. It is by Prada. It is Prada Luna Rossa Black. So can't really smell from the cap, but you guys know this is that amber musky fragrance. It has that angelica in it. It's really, really a nice fragrance. I find it kind of a simplistic fragrance, even though some people find it to be very like almost like niche style. I find it to be very simplistic but very nice. So the main notes you get in Prada Black are amber, musk, tonka and bergamot. You also get that angelica in there as well, but again, it's ambery, it's musky. It has that bergamot opening to give it a little bit of a sweet freshness, like a citric freshness, but it's never like really a citrus fragrance. That bergamot in the opening just lends it to be just a little bit fresh. And then as that dissipates, we get further into the dry down. It's more of a night out fragrance. It can be worn more all year round, other than like wanted by night, again, more fall and winter centric. This is going to be more all year round. I would stay away with the high sprays in the summer. But again, amber, musk, you get that bergamot in the opening. You get that tonka bean to give it that powdery sweetness in the dry down. Prada Luna Rossa Black, again, very simplistic, but it's really nice, and it's a great night out frag. You just have to make sure that your wife or your girlfriend likes this type of fragrance before you wear it on one of the most important dates that you could go on during that year. So that is not one that I would personally choose because my wife likes it. She's not a huge, in love with it or anything. She does like it though. I wouldn't go wrong with it, but that's why I wear Wanted by Night, because I know she loves it. So make sure they love it. And that's a really good one though. I know a lot of girls do like that. Going into the fourth one. This is a new one as of last year. It is going to be more of your semi-sweet, professional, kind of down the road of the Acqua de Joe, but also has a little bit more of a youthful sweetness to it. It's more professional than the original, more mature than the original, but it has a little bit of a youthfulness compared to the Acqua de Joe by Ralph Lauren. This is Ralph's Club Parfum. So this is more of a fragrance that is, the original is that more bubblegummy sweetness. That's what I was trying to get around, and I probably should have just said that, but it's more based around the aromatics, the woods, the lavenders, stuff like that. The main notes you get in Ralph's Club Parfum are apple, lavender, cedar, and orange blossom. So you don't get too much of a florally tone in it. The orange blossom, there's also a few other florals in here. They just kind of play a nuanced background note to transition the fragrance from the opening, which has a little bit more of that sweetness from that apple, into the dry down, which is more of that woodiness and that aromatic tone. The aromatics are in the opening and the dry down. That lavender lends to have a little bit of a sweet aromatic tone to it as well with that apple. So you do get that sweet tone in it. Again, it's down the same realm as the Acqua de Joe Profumo, as being a very mass appealing, more mature fragrance, but it is a little bit more youthful than that one is. This can be worn by almost any age. I would say probably 16 to 50. This is the one thing that is wrong with this fragrance, and if it had this, it would be perfect, is the performance. So it lasts on your skin probably 9 to 10 hours, but after about an hour, it literally sits to an intimate scent where you can barely smell it. So the thing is, spray this on clothes and overspray. You're not going to stain your clothes, overspray it, and you will be happy because it will project and it will be nice, about a moderate scent for the first 4 or 5 hours. Then it'll come closer to a personal bubble. Just make sure to overspray it. I'm talking 10, 12, 13 sprays. No joke. You need to overspray with this. Sometimes I put up to 20. I'll just go because it needs it. And you might think right for the first 2 minutes that it's too strong for you. Just let it sit. Maybe hold your breath for a minute, because after about 2 or 3 minutes, it'll start to die down and you'll see exactly what I mean. This fragrance is great. Again, it's aromatic, it's woody, it has that apple and that sweetness in the opening. It is a really nice fragrance. It's just you need to overspray it if you want to get noticed, which on Valentine's Day, you definitely want to have a little bit of that noticeable factor. And this is going to do it if you overspray it. Ralph's Club Parfum, definitely a really good release if you're looking for something that is not going to project too much, but is also going to get you noticed and is mass appealing. Going into the last one, I also have a kind of a runner-up here I forgot to mention in the opening. If you don't want to do the Wanted by Night, another favorite for mine to go out, and this probably would be number 2. I just didn't want to include 2 Azzaros. Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. It's your gourmand, fresh, night out fragrance. It's perfect. I just wanted to include Wanted by Night because it is my wife's favorite. But if I had to personally choose one that I would take to go out any time of year, this is going to be it. Most Wanted Eau de Parfum. It doesn't matter where you live. You could live in LA, you could live in Canada, you could live in freaking Serbia. It doesn't matter what your temperature is. This is going to work for a night out. Most Wanted. But now, going into another one that is a complete banger and you will never, ever, ever go wrong. And out of this entire list, if I was not going based on my wife's opinion and I was just going based on the opinion of opinions, if that makes sense, this is going to be the best one to wear tonight. So I've saved the best for last. YSL Y Parfum. I mentioned it in the video where I was talking about the gift buying guide. And I told you I was putting this in the other one, in the wearable video. This is going to get you noticed. This is one of the top blue brands out there, along with Chanel and Dior. But this is the best one in the line, in my opinion, by far. A lot of other people's opinion. And it's more of their night out version of the Y line while still being super versatile. Again, just like the Most Wanted, I just said you can wear it in pretty much any temperature at night. This is any temperature at night. Any season, whatever it might be. This is going to last you 10 plus hours. It's going to give you a above average projection, leaning into moderate, but it never really cools down, like calms down until about 8 to 9 hours. It is a really nice fragrance that's going to get you noticed. It's the most mass appealing probably of this entire line, but that is subjective. It all depends on the person. My wife is obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this. Half of the people that I talk to are obsessed with this, if not like 90% of them. YSL Y Parfum, I'll give you some of the main notes, even though I did it the other day. They are apple, tonka, cedar, and lavender. When you first spray it on, you get that Y DNA with that apple, but the apple isn't like the Eau de Parfum where it's in your face and heavy. It is more dialed down. The sweetness is dialed down. While it's a little bit darker than the EDP, it is also a little bit less sweet. And then again, you get those aromatic, the geranium, the sage, the lavender that the Y line is known for. And then when you get to the dry down, this one leans heavier on the tonka bean and the cedar than the other ones do. So you get that kind of sweet powdery woodiness when you get to the dry down, while not lending to be too powdery or anything. This is the perfect kind of separation between the light and dark type fragrances, and I think that it is absolutely amazing. It has a little bit of an effervescence to it. It's just a beautiful all-around fragrance that is going to get you noticed. If you want to smell good at any time, any night, especially on Valentine's Day, YSL Y Parfum, get it on discounters. It's like $188 on the YSL site now, so you want to find it on discounters for about $100. This is probably one of the best fragrances out there. It's in my top 5 fragrances that I own, designer for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys are wearing tonight. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Make sure, again, in the comments, just tell me what you're wearing tonight. I know we'll do a scent of the day post, but I want to know it here too. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great night tonight, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out.